Yo, it's your boy Brian Kravis, a comedian.
The comedian!
Comedy Tribunal. Today we're going to be taking a look at James Donald Forbes McCann. The special is called Black Israelite. This was suggested to me ad nauseum by Thomas Lyons, a local comic down here and a friend of the channel. I hear that he opens for Matt and Shane. Yeah, let's get into this, man.
That's good. Hello, hi. Wow. Oh, it's a hot night in Philadelphia.
Like this guy already. Let's go.
I like that you can abbreviate it into one burger, just one sound. Which I found out is This Is America. It's a full set, because it sounds like it's just short for America, but it's short for This Is America, which you shout a lot. I mean, you go to the Rose Bowl and there's a fighter jet going overhead and people go, "This is America! America!" It's like, yes. No one else is getting the military involved in collegiate sport. That is just you guys. But they say that everywhere. Like, you go to England and they go, "This is England?" For them, it's a question. It's a sad question. Because I go, "I love England." They go, "England's shit. Oh, fuck, I hate England. It's all Muslims and crime."
It looks like the special is only 20 minutes long. And right off the bat, I think that is a good sign, especially with somebody who's not as huge of a name. I think there's a lot of times where comics sort of get a little bit tunnel vision on like, oh, I need to put out the hour. It's like, you really don't. We're in the age of, TikTok and social media. Like, people's attention spans have never been shorter than they are right now. And in that way, it just seems like you would be shooting yourself in the foot for really no benefit, just because you've seen other people do it, to just try to force yourself to make an hour-long comedy special. But anyway, enough of me talking.
This is England. I can't believe. I'm glad the Queen is dead. So she doesn't have to live to say what they done to England. This is England. We say it in Australia, we say, "This is Australia." We say it at Vietnamese people on the bus. We put it in, we go, "This is Australia. You better speak Australian if you're in Australia." And that's not racist because it's our culture. Taking it away from us would be the racist. Anyway, a lot of people say it. The Chinese say it. The Chinese love saying, "This is China." Yep, sadly, they keep saying it in places that are not China. They say it in Hong Kong. They say it in Tibet. They say it in parts of the sea. That joke was originally about Israel, but my manager asked me to make it about China for some reason.
That's a good joke.
I don't know
That's
why.
a good joke.
My manager, my accountant, my lawyer.
Solid open so far. I like this. I'm always worried when just people who I wind up covering on this channel, when they get into sort of subject material like this, like racial and cultural sort of stuff, it's usually not going to be handled pretty well and just come off like kind of shitty. But these have been solid jokes so far.
Marco Rubio passed a thing that if you criticize Israel, you can lose your visa. I'm allowed to criticize America all I want. I'm not. If I criticize Israel, I'm genuinely. But I wouldn't want to. What is there to complain about at all? Genuinely. Too peaceful. That's all I would say. Listen, where's the camera? I love Israel. I love it. I'm a big fan. What is the month that comes after June?
July.
I would never say that. I prefer to call that month Jew Tell the Truth. I think that's a better name for that month. I prefer to call that month Jew Tell the Truth. I think that's a better name for that month.
No, go to the next joke. Stop that.
I am allowed to criticize America, but I don't want to because I love it here so much. It's been so good to me. I've even got a favorite school shooting.
An Austin comic, if they set up that premise, they would have been like, "Oh, I can criticize America, but I don't even want to," and then they would pause and wait for everybody to clap. Kudos to James Donald Forbes McCann for being better than that?
Well, I'll tell you about my favorite school shooting. It was a girl who did it, which is rare. All right, the vibe is shifted.
That happens. Many a show I have tanked with, oh, this set's going pretty well. That means this school shooting bit is going to go well as well. And even if it's a good school shooting bit, sometimes people are not fucking with that for whatever reason.
I'll play a song. I'll play a song while I describe my favorite. All right. Can you hear it? So this girl goes to school with I think it's a revolver. She gets 6 shots. She unloads them into her teacher and her classmates. She missed everybody. That's my favorite bit about it. She missed everybody. She hit the walls. She hit a desk. I don't know if she heard school shooting and she thought, I'm going to go and shoot the school. But
I don't like that line right there. I will say underutilized technique is bringing your phone on stage and playing sound into the microphone through that. I'm seeing James McCann do it right now. A lot of times, well, sometimes if you're, at some local shows, you can see some real shitters go for that, and it's not funny. And when it's not funny, it sucks. But I saw Nick Rochefort do stand up one time, and the way he opened his set was he opened up X videos or something and just started playing porn on his phone and left it on the stool and left the mic next to it, so it was picking all of it up, and he's just talking to, and we can't hear anything he's saying. It was very, very funny.
Worst thing that happened was a splinter came off a table and hit a teacher in the hand, I swear. Isn't that great? She didn't even save a bullet for herself. A school shooter 101. She went bang, 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 click, click. I want to be the policeman going in to get her. After you kick down the door, hey!
This is good. This is good. Just right off the bat, just watching this, I can see exactly why, if he's going on tour with Shane, he would think he would be a good opener, because I can tell he's a pretty good energy sort of guy. There's overlap with the premises as far as his subject material and Shane Gillis's subject material, like school shootings and some racial stuff right off the bat. Yeah, I mean it seems like the perfect guy that you would want to open up for you in those circumstances.
You got to apologize to these people because second thing I'm not meant to talk about is black people. I've noticed that doesn't work out for the whites. Ever. There's never a news story on CNN where it's a white guy has spoken on Black America and he's really hit the nail on the head. We're all thrilled with what he said. And genuinely, that could tarnish my visa. When you're trying to get into America, there's a list of crimes that you can't have committed if you want to come into America with a visa. And it's murder. And you go, that's fine. I haven't done that. But they'll go if you do a murder, you'll never get an office job in America. You got to walk across that border like everybody else. But then there's a secondary list of crimes. And they're crimes that you can have committed unless you've done them as a hate crime somehow. So an assault, fine. Hate crime, assault, very bad. And some of that's all right. But
there's a lot of overlap in mannerisms with him and Shane too. Watch this.
Somehow. So an assault, fine.
Right there. Right. That pure Shane Gillis right there.
Hate crime, assault, very bad.
Even down to the facial
assault,
expressions on that when the angle
fine.
Switches right here. Right here.
Hate crime, assault, very bad.
Yeah.
And some of that's all right. But then I'm looking at it going, how do I do a racially motivated drink driving?
This is going to be fun.
What steps do I actually have to take to get that done? I got to go to a 7-Eleven and give me 9 fireballs and directions to West Philadelphia, please. I can see no way to do it. All right, here's the big problem with Israel, as far as I can. You've got to kill a lot of innocent people to build a country. I'm sorry, have you...
I don't want this to sound like I'm hating, but I think this is a good attribute, and it's something that I try to have, and it's an attribute that a lot of the comics that I started with, that I looked up to at like whatever mics I was going to, that I tried to emulate from them. He's not afraid of saying things that are just going to straight bomb like that. There's certain like mannerisms that you'll see people throw out, and like little phrases that people will throw onto the end. They're not tags to a joke. They're like little phrases to hopefully to almost like tease like an extra reaction out of someone, and it usually shows like a lack of confidence in whatever you said before it. And the ability to just sort of say like, "Hey, this is what was in my notes, blah," and then just leave it out there for it to sink or swim, I think it's something that I respect a lot.
A lot of innocent people to build a country.
Silence. He just leaves it out there. Does he look uncomfortable up there? Not at all. But I think there's a certain type of humor that is derived from, like we were talking about it a little bit with the Megan Stalter video and like the Sam Hyde comparisons. Sometimes the fun is making everyone in the room uncomfortable within reason, and I think this is a good example of that.
You guys messed that up for everybody. I can criticize America. You guys are the real problem here. After World War II, you had the bomb. No one else had the bomb. You said, time out. These lines on the map are beautiful. We're going to keep them exactly as they are. All right? Because you had the best lines. You didn't want to fuck with your lines at all. You're not going to fill up Wyoming with suburbs for 1,000 years. You were very happy to say, whoa, time out. These are the lines. Time back in. Israel exists. Time out again. All right. Now that we've made that one correction, this new rule about where the lines are, that has never been the case ever at any point in all of humanity. All right, black people. Now,
I will say, although I am for the most part enjoying this, I could see someone not liking this at all if it's not their thing. If you're not already sort of into the style of comedy he's going for, the people that he's sort of aligned with, I guess, I could see you not liking this. It is sloppy. I will say that it's not. I don't know if it's not structured is the right word, but it's very loose. It's not tight. And like the thing I was sort of like praising him for a second ago with the being comfortable to just sort of like hang something out on stage without like any crutches and allow it to sort of fail, maybe for lack of a better word. The people who like that are going to like it, and the people who aren't are not going to like it. And I think there is a balance that you can hit there, and I don't think he's doing that as well as you could. It isn't making me enjoy it really any less. But I thought it was worth mentioning.
Thailand, send over 1 million hot women. They have to be women. They have to be real women. Don't try and trick us. Example number 3. Third thing. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Now, I'm a big fan of black people. I don't know.
That sort of like random transition or lack thereof, talking about something completely different than going like, I love black people, as like a jarring way to sort of just get a laugh out of people. He's been doing that too much, in my opinion. In this set, it's wearing on me a little bit. Figured I would mention that.
I'm from an all-white country. If you're on a flight in Australia and there's a bumpy landing, everybody's silent. People that say nothing and they got their hands crossed and they're anxious and they're scared.
It's fun. It's good.
And then you just carry that nervous tension around with you for like a week. In America, if there is a bumpy landing, there will be a black guy on the flight and he's going to go, oh! And you know what? Genuinely, thank you for saying that out loud. You've helped us all work through the tension together. I believe that's called keeping it real, and I'm a big fan of it.
That was a fun bit.
Everybody, I was buying my Doritos tacos so I could feel a little less suicidal. You know how it is. And I came around to the intercom and everybody was like, there were like 8 people gathered around the intercom laughing at my accent. I don't think anyone from outside of this country had ever been to this West Virginia Taco Bell. I don't know what would bring them there. Anyway, I don't know what. It's a long story. I got to the first window. There was a lady there. She said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Australia." And then to be cheeky, I said, "Are you from Australia?" And she said, "I'm black." "Do they treat black people nicely in Australia?" And I said, "No." And I drove on to the next window. I was not ready to have a full civics conversation. You tap and you go. I just sat at the next window feeling very sad and embarrassed. And then I was more embarrassed when she appeared at the second window, which was not her job. She had left, she'd taken the headset off, walked the full length of the Taco Bell, leaned across somebody and said, "You really got a problem with black people in Australia?" And I said, "Listen, I love black people, I think. This is about number 4 that I've ever, my entire life, but I'm a big fan. I was trying to say my country has a problem." And she said, "Oh, well, that's what's up." And she gave me a fist bump, and it was the happiest day of my whole life. I've honestly never been so thrilled. I've joined the team. I'm an ally. I started smoking menthol cigarettes. Bill Cosby didn't do it. He was a good man, brought down by some people I'm unable to speak about right now. I am genuinely a big Kanye fan, though. I really... Not the music, just the politics. I love Kanye. And by the way...
Everybody's made that joke. Everybody at work's made that joke. Keep it moving, James. You're better than that.
When he came out the first time and said he loved Hitler, I was defending him that day. I said he only said that because he's a Christian and he loves everybody, even Hitler. And that's a good Christian. That's what we're all called to do as Christians. Loving each other here this evening, that is entry-level Christianity. Kanye loving Hitler, that's advanced. He's brought himself to love even Hitler. This is saintly behavior. And then Kanye came out shortly after that and said he also really liked Hitler. And I thought, no. That's ever so much worse. Kanye likes Hitler. I don't know if Hitler would like Kanye. I suspect he would not. But I could be wrong. I mean, I could be. Maybe Hitler would love Kanye. Hitler would be like, "Wow, you're so cool. I love you. I loved jungle music and I loved the Future shoes. One time, a big fan of your ex-wife with the big fat ass. You know? That's a gas chamber we can all get behind. I do believe."
I don't. He's doing too many like punny sort of jokes, and you guys know I hate that. I think he left some meat on the bone with the Hitler Kanye conversation, but it wasn't terrible.
When I go raw, I like to leave in it. Do we all know what that means? There's no condom and you ejaculate in the pussy. It's the only way to do it. It's what I like. It sounds dirty. It's not. That's one of the few rap lyrics you could play to the Pope. You know, and he could hear that and he'd go, "Yeah." That's how we've been telling people to do it for a long time. I'm so glad a fellow Chicago South Sider is spreading the good word about going raw and leaving it in. It's the only way to do it. It's the only.
Is he wrapping it up? He's grabbing the mic stand.
If you've got a friend who's depressed, you say, "Have you tried going raw and leaving it in?" Because I think you'll be thrilled by the... Who loves condoms? That's what I thought. And pulling out. Who pulls out? It's one of the worst reaction times I've ever heard. That is not going to be an effective method of contracepting for you. Pulling out is gross and evil, and it makes sex bad and lame. Do you know what I'm saying? Sexual congress is about, you're meant to be getting closer to one another and closer until you get to the moment of ultimate closeness, at which point you have to go, get the fuck away from me. Oh, no. It's not about pulling out here, it's about pulling out here. It's one of the things I like about America. It's a very go raw, leave it in country. You don't call it that. You call it land of the free and home of the brave. Because you think about it, there's nothing more free than going raw. And there's nothing braver than leaving it in. I mean, that'll... All right, that's really all I wanted to record. That'll be about a half hour.
Nope, not quite. Oh, that wasn't bad. That was okay. Young man, James McCann. Keep your head up. Keep grinding, and good things are gonna come to you. I just gave Ryan Davis a 6.5. This is honestly, I honestly feel similar with this than I do to the way I do with Ryan Davis, where it's like Ryan Davis, I think he got off to a much hotter start than James McCann ever got to in this special, even though the subject material is like right up my alley. I just don't think he, executed as well as other people we've seen on this channel. The difference is with Ryan Davis, there was like a disappointment level with how mediocre it got later in the special, where it's like this was just sort of like steady for the most part all the way through. I really liked the school shooting bit, was fun. Yeah, like I was saying, if you like that kind of stuff, you're gonna like it. And if you don't, you're not gonna get anything out of it. I'm gonna say out of 10. How about that? Yeah, not bad. Good even, I would say. I would like to see a little bit more tightness, a little bit less of like jokey joke sort of pun stuff. But I like all the premises. I just would like them a little bit more fleshed out.